If you're going to completely disassemble the Ruger LCP, it would be a good idea to have some extra parts available in the event that you have some broken parts, worn parts, or lost parts. A few things like a firing pin and the firing pin spring, frame insert pins, firing pin retainers, little roll pins, a guide rod, and the recoil springs, both the inner and the outer. I'm going to field strip the gun. First thing we want to do is check, make sure that the gun is empty. I'm going to drop the hammer at this point to relieve some of the spring tension so that later on when the frame is removed it'll be an easier job. I use a dental pick that I've modified, a slight little bend at the tip and blunted the tip of it, and this goes underneath the takedown pin, and if you pry up it pops the pin very nicely. Remove the slide and then the guide rod and recoil springs. And remove the barrel. At this point we'll do a little fluff and buff on the barrel. I use a Dremel tool with a felt buffing wheel and a bit with a screw tip on it. Take and chuck the bit into the Dremel tool and put the felt wheel on the end. And the felt wheel, when you try to place it in the chamber, of course is going to be too large. We can take care of the size on that buffing wheel by grinding it down on a file. Grind until you get it to fit inside the chamber. Make sure that it's not too tight. You want to just polish and buff. You don't want to take away any of the metal. Put some rouge polishing compound on the buffing wheel and buff the chamber and the ramp to the point that you're satisfied. Next, we're going to take and remove the extractor. Take a spent 38 special case and with some sandpaper take down the rim of the case until you've got a diameter of about 14/32 or about 0.43 inches to be used in the extractor removal. I've found that these little nails that come with these picture hanger packages work quite well for the next procedure, and I selected two of these nails. The nail on the left is used for the frame removal. It's 1 3/8 inches long, about a 1/16 in diameter. The little one on the right is 7/8 inches long and about 0.059 in diameter. This diameter is important because if it's much larger, it won't fit in the extractor plunger. If it's much smaller in diameter, it's going to be too weak to overcome the spring tension that is behind that extractor plunger. That's a 1/16 inch on the larger nail and 0.059 diameter on the smaller nail. With these two selected nails, take and file the tips off, and we're ready to start removing the extractor. We've got our 38 special case, the smaller nail, and a dental pick. Take and place the 38 special between the breech face and the extractor claw. Don't push up too hard, just enough to make the extractor protrude out the side and relieve some of that spring tension so we can insert the nail. Then remove the case, and now we're ready to perform the next procedure, which will be to apply some pressure to this little nail. We're going to take and use some thumb pressure and go from left to right, removing the pressure on the extractor, and use the pick in the back end and it will pop out. Whatever you do, don't pull that pin at this point. You can take and do whatever you're going to do with the extractor out. To insert the extractor, again, push right on the little nail, put the back end of the extractor into the access hole. Now you can take and reinsert the 38 special case between the breech and the claw. Just enough pressure to relieve the spring pressure on the nail so that it can be lifted out. Make sure while that extractor is out you don't pull that nail, because you'll lose some parts for sure. And that's it.